Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? These two morons just had a show, and I thought I should be watching it with you guys. Wait, let me see. What's the title of this video? It doesn't show. It says, oh, Netanyahu freaks out as Israeli parliament defies him. I mean, shouldn't you be okay? We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But guys, make sure you like the stream. Please let me see who's in the chat. How come your names are your usernames again? I don't know who's who. You need to introduce yourself to me, guys, because I don't the names are back to being the user. So Amir is here, Nail Bunny is here. Comrade, oh my god, your names are not here. Oh god, I don't like it. All right. I'm just going to try to just introduce yourself when you comment so I can read your real names. Sucks, man. Why is YouTube doing this? I was so happy that we went back to your actual usernames. Yeah. Anyways, so let's just watch this. Make sure how's my audio? Make sure you like the stream so that more people end up watching this. And let me know how my audio is and how is their audio. So let me actually play. So let's see what
The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel.
The West Bank is Israel. The West Bank is Israel. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You guys, this guy whose username is Atheist Republic in Russian just got 50 memberships. 50 memberships. And he did this on the Persian channel as well. So he basically got us 100 memberships. That's crazy. Thank you, man. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's wow. Everybody's member, like, thank you. Amazing. Okay. All right. Wow. Look at the memberships. Look at the memberships in the chat. Everybody's becoming a member. It's raining membership. Oh, and he's saying use your memberships, guys. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. Wow. Look at that. The whole chat is member now. All right. There's a green ball. Wow, thank you. That's very sweet. Anyways. Okay, now let's get back to Vance saying
the West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel.
Well, appears that today, at least, the Trump administration is condemning the Israeli parliament for a vote that was held just yesterday that essentially formalizes the annexation of the West Bank. Now, today, Vice President J.D. Vance stated that the White House absolutely will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. And even President Donald Trump, if you can remember, made a similar statement just last month. If you don't remember, here's what I'm talking about.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now.
Okay, guys. Do you not believe me now? Tell me in the chat that Armin was correct. Tell me if you were a Trump supporter and also a supporter of Israel, do you not see the conflict here now? The West Bank or Judea and Samaria, that it is Israel. It has always been Israel, and it will remain Israel. It's already part of Israel. So people who are huge supporters of Israel, and then you were getting pissed at me for saying that Trump, you cannot rely on Trump. Do you not see that I was correct? Do you not see that I was correct? Ali in the chat saying you're always correct, Armin. Well, not always, but okay. Oh, I always, Sarah is saying I support Israel. Yes, me too. If between Trump and Israel, I'll pick Israel every day, every single day. So James or John is saying, what do you mean West Bank is Israel? Israel itself hasn't passed a law declaring sovereignty over the area. Only East Jerusalem and a few. Yeah, but okay, so What I mean is that we consider it to be Israel, and we are fighting for the day that it will get international recognition as Israel. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's mean we consider that to be for Israel, and we are trying to make it so that other people see it internationally. It's seen as that. It's seen like that as well. So this is completely against. By the way, do you know what do you know why they're saying this? First of all, Vance is an isolationist, so his reasoning is completely different. But Trump, Witkoff, and Jared are under the influence of Qatari money. Okay, this is Qatari money speaking right now. This is the influence of Qatar. That's what you're hearing right now. This is not Trump speaking. This is Qatar speaking through the mouth of Trump. That's what's happening. Yes.
Annex the
Yeah, Trump is an isolationist because he was the one who was like, man, we shouldn't be attacking. Remember the leaked messages from the signal gates? He was like, why are we attacking the Houthis? The Houthis are not our problem. Why are we getting involved in this? So yeah, he's one of those isolationists.
I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now. Okay.
Now, I'm going to get to the details of it's actually two bills that would essentially annex the West Bank on behalf of Israel. So before I get to that, though, Cenk, now look, you saw that video of Trump. And I think part of the reason why it was hard to take him seriously is because of the fact that he has essentially allowed Netanyahu to do almost anything and everything he's wanted. He's for
bullshit. He has been stopping Netanyahu, and when he has been standing in his way. It's in the most important parts. Netanyahu almost finished the Islamic Republic of Iran in the 12-day war, and Trump got in the way. Netanyahu it has his hands tied now in Gaza, especially now with the sorry, I'm still sick. Let me, where's my cough medicine? Especially now that the hostages are free, and Hamas has zero leverage. The only thing that is stopping Israel from going inside Gaza and finishing the job is Trump. So no, he's not letting Netanyahu do. I wish he would. I wish Trump would let Netanyahu do everything and anything he wants, but he doesn't.
Essentially allowed Netanyahu to do almost anything and everything he's wanted. He's forked over tens of billions of dollars in US taxpayer money to aid and abet the atrocities that Israel's been carrying out.
Aiding an ally, which the United States should be doing. Aiding your allies is how America becomes great. I don't see these people complaining about the United States spending a lot of money on aiding Egypt and Pakistan and US's military presence in Germany and South Korea and the Philippines. I don't know, why is it that all of a sudden when it comes to Israel, it becomes wrong to do so? This is how the United States became a superpower. And no, Israel is not doing any
anything and everything he's wanted. He's forked over tens of billions of dollars in US taxpayer money to aid and abet the atrocities that Israel's been carrying out.
No, the atrocities that Israel has been stopping. The atrocities that you see in Gaza has been done by Hamas. Israel is trying to end all those atrocities. You're welcome, the people of Gaza. Again, I have a recommendation to the people in Gaza. Stop praying to Allah, and from now on, do your prayers to Israel and the IDF. They are your gods. They are your only savior now. God cannot save you. Allah cannot save you. And your God doesn't care about you because it doesn't exist. And almost nobody else cares about you other than Israel and the IDF. So they're powerful enough to be your God. And they're also the only entity in this world that cares about your lives. Nobody else cares about your life as lives. And the people in Gaza, nobody else cares about your lives as much as the IDF does, because the people, the pro-Palestine movement uses your lives, uses your blood and tears to grow their movement. So does the axis of resistance. Hamas has openly said that they welcome you dying because they become stronger the more of you die. So, and even the people who genuinely care about you in Gaza, they're not doing much about it. The only entity in this world that cares about the people of Gaza, about their lives, and is actually doing the things that could save them is the IDF. So my recommendation to the people in Gaza is, when you're doing your prayer, pray to the IDF. Pray to the IDF. The IDF is your God now. It's the only thing that cares about you, and it's the only thing that is powerful enough to save you. So when you're doing your 5 times prayers every day, make sure you mention IDF instead of Allah from now on.
To aid and abet the atrocities that Israel's been carrying out, not just in Gaza, but has been carrying out in the West Bank. I mean, the West Bank has essentially been annexed, at least portions of it, with these illegal settlements. But the reason why I also didn't take him seriously is because if you just look away and listen to the audio of it, it almost sounds like he's like, I'm not gonna let them do it. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but the way he speaks makes it seem as though even he doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah, I might shock the world and say, no, I'm not sure I agree. So you might be reading a little too much into that one. And we're going to show you a video in a little bit here of JD Vance kind of yelling at the Israelis in a way that was a bit shocking. But it is a super...
JD Vance should shut his mouth. Israel is an independent country. You don't get to tell them how they manage their territory.
Bit here of JD Vance kind of yelling at the Israelis in a way that was a bit shocking. But it is a super legitimate question that Anna's referring to. It's so legitimate, we asked it in a poll on tyt.com. And I want you guys to watch this story and then vote on the poll. Is JD Vance being authentic or not in what he said about Israel? Because either Trump is drawing a line at annexing the West Bank. I mean, that's not much of a line, but I guess I'll take it. Or this is all just some sort of game, which has happened a billion times, where they...
It's not a game, it's real. The thing is that here's, guys, let me tell you what's happening, okay? The Qataris and the Saudis, they actually don't give a shit about Palestine or whether the West Bank gets annexed or whether... They don't even give a shit if Israel moves into Gaza and carpet bombs the entire area. You might be like, no, Armin, because the Qataris care. They don't give a shit. So here's the question. Then, like, Armin, doesn't that contradict what you're saying? If they don't give a shit, then why are they spending so much money trying to get the Americans to push Israel not to annex the West Bank and also push them to recognize Palestine as a nation state? Because they're terrified of their own fucking people. Okay? So remember, these are dictators, and even dictators have to worry about political movements within their own country. Okay? These are areas where within that you have different Islamic movements embedded within these societies. We have the Wahhabis and we have the Muslim Brotherhood. Okay, and they are really worried about an Arab Spring or an Islamic uprising, a Palestinian uprising, an Islamic uprising, an Arab Spring, anything like that. So if Qatar and Saudi Arabia could just somehow nuke Palestine without a backlash, they would do it. They hate Palestine. Even Qatar, you know, like army, maybe Saudi Arabia, but not Qatar. Even Qatar, even Turkey. Okay, they all hate Palestine. They hate them. They hate they hate them more than Israelis do. Okay, because Israelis actually don't hate the people in Gaza. Okay, maybe they hate Hamas. Some of them hate the people in Gaza, but I'm telling you, the Saudis, they hate Palestinians. They hate them. Okay, and every time Israel is attacking Gaza, they're watching and they're secretly wishing Israel success. And you're like, we hope Israel just doesn't just slaughter Hamas. We wish Israel would just slaughter every single person there. That's what the Saudis would wish would happen. Okay. But they have their own people. And you might think right now in Saudi Arabia, when you see the concerts, you see Justin Bieber going there, you see, I don't know who else, what other celebrities go there, the comedians going there, and you see women without hijab, and you see parties, and you see alcohol, and you see Halloween. You're like, oh my God, the Saudis have taken over, and it's all on Islamic, and it's all modernizing. Guys, you know when I told you many years before October 7th that there is a Jew hatred movement still huge Jew hatred movement in the entirety of the world, waiting for its day to have a comeback, and you guys thought that I'm exaggerating. You saw I was right, okay? So let me tell you this. In Saudi Arabia and in all the other Arab countries around the Persian Gulf, underneath all of that, underneath all the concerts and all the parties and all the celebrities and all the tourism picture, underneath all of that, right now as we speak, there is an Islamic revolution, just like the Islamic revolution in 1979 in Iran, waiting for its turn. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is a bomb there waiting to explode. And let me tell you, they are furious, and they want to paint the streets red with the blood of the sheikhs and the blood of the Saudi princes. They want that. They feel betrayed, and they want a chance for them to come and take over. Let me tell you, some of these Islamic forces in these Arab countries, they hate their own leaders more than any Jew out there. Like in these Islamic groups in Saudi Arabia, if you give them the chance to take out Netanyahu or Mohammed bin Salman, they would pick Mohammed bin Salman every fucking time. Because at least he's a Jew. This guy is like pretending to be a Muslim in their mind or something, right? And this is huge. So that's why the Emirati sheikhs and the Saudi princes are terrified, and justifiably so, right? So they need to at least push for a two-state solution. They need to push for it, or they need to. And they need to show some results. And that's why all of this Qatari and Saudi money goes to, and this is why the so-called Palestinian movement has a much more powerful lobby in the United States than AIPAC, than the Jewish lobby. We're like, the Jewish lobby is influencing American politics. The anti-Jewish lobby in America is 100 times more powerful, if not 1,000 times more powerful. Go look at the pocket change that it's AIPAC compared to all of the Emirati and Saudi influence, and Turkish as well. Oh, let me see. We got a super chat. Oh, thank you so much. My God, what happened to your name? Les is okay. Les, I'm just gonna call you Les. Okay, Les is okay. Saying the populism movement in my country doesn't want us to get involved, right or left. Breaks my heart to watch. Miss you guys. I miss you too. I miss you too. Thank you so much for coming back. I don't know if I should use your usernames to refer to you because why YouTube bring the usernames back? What is this ID stuff? Look at this. It's like a monstrous. But yes, this is smilingly trying. Oh, Les is smilingly trying. Oh, that's actually cute. That's actually a cute username. I like it. Anyway, so guys, you have now the context of all of this connection and who is influencing what.
They pretend to disagree, but then give Israel everything they want.
I mean, that happens almost every time. 99.
So you saw what I explained, how complicated and nuanced that was, and you saw how simplistic their explanation is, right? They're like, oh, they're just pretending and they don't really mean it, and everybody is under the control of Israel, right? These people don't understand the geopolitics in the Middle East. They have zero clue.
Because either Trump is drawing a line at annexing the West Bank. I mean, that's not much of a line, but I guess I'll take it. Or this is all just some sort of game, which has happened a billion times, where they pretend to disagree, but then give Israel everything they want.
I mean, that happens almost every time, 99% of the time. But okay, let me give you the details of the story. And you're right. I mean, my last point about the way Trump sounds is my weakest point. But I think we have recent history to kind of inform how these types of hand waving or finger waving statements toward the Israelis really ends up going. So there are two bills at play that were brought up in the Israeli right-wing opposition by the Israeli right-wing opposition Knesset members. So they want Israel's government to be even more right-wing than it already is. And both these bills did end up passing the preliminary votes. Now, what are the bills?
Yeah, so these bills, by the way, they're talking about is completely symbolic, and the more right-leaning groups, people within the Knesset have done this, and Netanyahu is not even behind this. So I don't know, like they did this kind of as a way to push back against Netanyahu. So this is not even, the Knesset is not doing this. This is not even a serious attempt to annex the West Bank. Okay, and honestly, the right strategy for getting the West Bank is not for us to do it right now, but given the political climate right now, these right-leaning people in the Knesset, the like really right-leaning people, are just trying to piss off America. And right now, it's not a good idea to piss off America. Right now, it's not a good idea to piss off America. Okay, so yes, we want to annex the West Bank. This is not the right move. This is not the right time. Okay, right now you should, given how much Trump is in love with the Qataris, you need to you can't ruin that for him. Okay, you cannot ruin that for him because we need the support of Americans. We need the support of Americans. It's reality. It's real. I don't know what you want me to tell you. If you want me to tell you like, oh, it can be done without the Americans, it can't. Okay, it can't. Okay, we need the support of Americans. So it's not a good strategy to ruin the romance between Trump and Qatar right now. Let them have their way with each other. We need to be strategic. We need to play within their based on their rules for now. So the thing is that we need to piss off Americans only a little bit. So if this is the line that the Americans are drawing for Israel, okay, so you could just come out a little bit sometimes to test how much of a reaction you're going to get, but you cannot go too far off. Okay, and given how much the Qataris are right now sensitive about the West Bank not being annexed and stuff, This is the worst thing. This was the worst timing. Like right now, after Trump came into Knesset and he did a nice speech for Netanyahu, this was not the right thing to do. And I think Israelis in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that the people, the right to the right of Netanyahu did this as the way to mess up the relationship between Netanyahu and America. Because look at how they're referring to it. Like JD Vance is referring to it not as something that some farther right people in the Knesset are doing. They're referring to it as if something that Israel is doing as a whole. So I don't know. Was this a strategic? Yeah. So Amir is saying yes, it might be true. I think this was a way to create for the pissed off right-leaning people in the Knesset to poke at Netanyahu, something like that. This is not about annexing the West Bank. This is some internal politics within the Israel kind of stuff.
The first bill would apply the sovereignty of the state of Israel to the territories of Judea and Samaria, meaning the West Bank. So this is the.
You know what? I'm gonna try to remember to call it Judea and Samaria. Okay, I'm gonna try to, because I don't want to use these people's terminology. So I'm gonna try to slowly switch to Judea and Samaria.
Territories of Judea and Samaria, meaning the West Bank. So this is the most consequential bill because essentially what it does is it formalizes that no, the West Bank, we have voted on it in the Israeli government and we have decided it belongs to us. It's in writing. It's now the law of the land. So that's definitely more consequential. But remember, in some ways, this is kind of symbolic because Israel's annexing portions of the West Bank as we speak anyway, and our government is doing absolutely nothing about it.
Well, because they can, because they shouldn't. It's not their territory. It's not their business.
In fact, one of the first things that President Donald Trump did after getting inaugurated is he removed Biden's sanctions on the Israeli settlers who have been raining terror and stealing homes from Palestinians in the West Bank.
Okay, if you want those settlers to, right, honestly, the behavior of some of those settlers is like, oh, what the fuck. So I agree with that. Some of those settlers are kind of cuckoo. But the way to solve it is for the government to come and take the project completely in its own control. Just speed up. Just get your own security, involved, and don't let the civilians there take the law into their own hands.
Who have been raining terror and stealing homes from Palestinians in the West Bank. So it's kind of hard for me to take Trump seriously. Now,
just keep building, build all over the West Bank until the whole idea of a Palestinian state becomes impossible. I mean, you have already built enough to make it somewhat impossible. Just build some more.
From Palestinians in the West Bank. So it's kind of hard for me to take Trump seriously. Now, the second bill, real quick, essentially would apply Israeli sovereignty onto a specific city settlement that's illegally built in the West Bank. Cenk.
Yeah, so Israel's kind of amazing because they say all these things in public. In fact, they voted on it. They said, we're just gonna take the West Bank for ourselves. So this is exactly what we've been telling you all along. Greater Israel, they can take West Bank, Gaza Strip.
The Greater Israel is only limited to Gaza, the West Bank, and the parts of the Golan Heights. So, and if that's all, then I support it. I support the Greater Israel project because it's limited to that. But when you say the Greater Israel project, some people have this conspiracy theory that they want to go take parts of Saudi Arabia and Egypt. That's bullshit. Okay, and the Greater Israel project, which is limits to these areas that I said, makes complete sense. Because after so many years of attacks from this area, Israel can easily demonstrate that I need to occupy these areas because these are high-risk areas. These areas are used as a way to attack my citizens, right? So I'm not the aggressor. I'm responding to an aggression, and under international law, when you're responding to an aggression, you could hold the territory that you were attacked from. You can hold the territory that you were attacked from. So it's okay for Israel to keep these areas because they were not the aggressor. The other side was the aggressor. And you could easily demonstrate that not occupying these areas is a risk to my citizens.
They announced yesterday they're going to keep 53% of the Gaza that they have, and they've got a plan with Jared Kushner to build Israeli condos on top of the graves of the Palestinian children they killed earlier in the conflict.
They didn't kill Palestinian, so-called Palestinian children. Those children were killed by Hamas and other terroristic groups.
On top of the graves of the Palestinian children.
Guys, like, here's the thing. All you need to know about why you should never let go of Judea and Samaria is Gaza. You evacuated Gaza. Are you happy with the results? The world told Israel, the world told you to evacuate Gaza. And if you evacuate Gaza, you will have peace. It will de-radicalize them. How did that work out for you? How did that work out for you? Evacuating Gaza. Is the world taking responsibility for making you do that? Where are the people who pressured you to evacuate Gaza? Did they come back to you and say, we're sorry, we shouldn't have told you to do that? Did they come to you and told you that we were wrong? It was a mistake. You should have stayed in Gaza. Oopsie. Sorry about October 7th. We shouldn't have told you to evacuate Gaza. Did any of them come and admit that they were mistaken? Did any of them apologize? Did the world celebrate you for evacuating Gaza? Did the world come and give you a medal? Did the world congratulated you for giving up the land that you already had for the sake of peace? Did the hatred against Israel reduce because you let go of Gaza? Did people like, oh my God, I guess Israel wants peace? Did the world's opinion change in your favor when you did that? Or does it just get worse? So given that they're not taking responsibility for it, and you didn't get anything out of evacuating Gaza, why the fuck would you try that again for the West Bank? Why would you do that for the West Bank? Why on earth would I ever repeat that mistake? If evacuating Gaza got me October 7th, what would evacuating the West Bank get me? Something 10 times worse, or maybe even the end of Israel. Why would I even give it a chance? Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you. Nothing but good stuff just gave us a super chat saying, I came to stay, but I can't stand Anna and Cenk. See you on the next one. We love you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay, guys, if you don't, let me actually tell you guys, I started a community. If you guys want to hang out and talk like without listening to these idiots. So we have our first event on the October 27th. So look, we have a community here. I will post the link to it in the chat. It's actually, the link to it is also in our description, right? So if you look, it's called the World Liberty Battle Camp. And here, the link, come join. We're going to have a live meeting where we all talk live, on either with or without camera. And if you go to our calendar, so I put the link in the chat. And if you go to the calendar section, you could see our upcoming event coming up very soon. So make sure you come join this community. The link is in the description. And I also put the link in the chat. So this is our first live group discussion, or our first live group talk. It's not just me talking. All of us will be talking together, okay? So here, this is, look, or already 36 people joined already. Look at this. And people are already posting and responding. So we're going to grow this community, okay? It's called World Liberty Battle Camp, and here's the description, okay? Here we learn how to fight for liberty against her main enemies, the woke right, the woke left, Islamic tyranny, and communism. Okay. Anyways, back to the show. That was a that was a commercial. But come join it. We will just chit chat together over there. Okay. So let's continue with this.
Children they killed earlier in the conflict, but the U.S. press never acknowledges it. They just lie on behalf of Israel and say, "Oh no, Israel's only doing self-defense." And if you say they're going to take land, they call you an anti-Semite. But wait a minute, they just voted to take that land, and they called.
Wait, what? Sir, they are
Israel's only doing self-defense. Lie on behalf of Israel and say, "Oh no, Israel's only doing self-defense." And if you say they're going to take land, they call you an anti-Semite.
No. We don't say you're you are an anti-Semite, but that's not because you said that they're taking land. They should take that land. They should take that land.
But wait a minute, they just voted to take that land. And they called it Judea and Samaria, meaning like this is our biblical mission. And Netanyahu has said it is this historic mission and spiritual mission to set up greater Israel and to basically, you could say take, you could say steal, you could use any word you like to take the.
No, it's not stealing. You can't steal what's yours.
West Bank and Gaza Strip, and they're doing it right in front of our eyes, and they're voting on it. Yet never.
Yeah, this is self-defense, because when an area, so other people might have biblical reasons for it. I don't. I'm an atheist. I have a completely pragmatic and safety reason for it. When an area, when you're being attacked from an area and your citizens' lives are in danger because an area is constantly being used to attack your people from it, and the forces in that area are not able or willing to stop those attacks to your people and stop the threat, then not only you have the right to, but you also have the responsibility to go in there and occupy that land. And if anytime you leave that land, it goes back to being a threat to your people, then you have to take that land. Okay? There you go. That was easy. So that makes taking land is sometimes self-defense. When you're not the aggressor, then taking land is self-defense.
Nevertheless, American media will say, no, it's outrageous to say they're doing it for the land. Obviously, they are the poor victims and are doing it for self-defense. No, Israel's government's.
There's no contradiction. They are doing it for the land because it's self-defense.
Obviously, they are the poor victims and are doing it for self-defense. No, Israel's government's actions are crystal clear. Then the question is, what are we going to do about it?
You should stay the fuck out. Hey, how come you are a non-interventionist until you want to actually stop Israel? Fuck off. It's none of your business.
Yeah, you're right. It is crystal clear. I mean, as I've said multiple times on this show, I don't really rely on US journalism to really know what's going on in Israel, Gaza, the West Bank. I rely on Israeli media. And in Israeli media.
Haaretz. Let me guess. Israeli media. Like she's like, oh, I think she's saying like I rely on Israeli media, so I can't be biased. I'm looking at their own sources. As if Israeli media is a monolith and they're all completely in line and they agree with each other. Hey guys, Israel also has the sickness of leftism. So just because it's Israeli media, it doesn't mean it's right. Leftism is a global pandemic, okay? It's a global disease. Even Israel has that.
You're going to hear the direct quotes, the direct statements from Knesset members. You're going to hear what Benjamin Netanyahu says in Hebrew versus what he tells the American people in English. And oftentimes there are some.
What he said in Hebrew, I know what they're referring to. He said, so Netanyahu in English, he came and said that, okay, we're going to abide by the terms of the agreement that Trump, the so-called peace agreement that Trump came up with, phase 1, phase 2, we're going to do our part. He said that in English. And then in Hebrew, what he said is that we are going to destroy all Hamas's tunnels in Gaza. And people are like, oh no, look at the double speak. In English, he says we're going to stay out, but in Hebrew, he says we're going to go in and destroy the tunnels. This is because you didn't actually read the deal. Part of the deal was that all the tunnels need to be destroyed. So this was not a contradiction. The English and the Hebrew were actually consistent. Him saying that we're going to go in Gaza and destroy all the tunnels was part of the deal. It was in phase, I think it was in phase 2. So no, he didn't contradict himself, his English and Hebrew. Oh, we got a super chat. Unusual AI saying Cenk Uger, as always, is spitting facts. Okay. Here is Zaya donation for changing your mind. Okay, by the way, guys, Unusual AI is joking. I know that. Okay. And thank you, Unusual AI. By the way, guys, I'm eating these not because I'm being disrespectful to you. I know is listening to me taking these might be upsetting you, but the reason is because I have a cold and I'm coughing a lot. So these are numbing. They numb my throat, so I cough less. Okay, so that's why you have to suffer through listening to me actually take these. Okay, so I hope you forgive me for that. Okay, yeah, my voice is better. Thank you.
Pretty significant differences in, the substance of what they're saying. Okay, so with that in mind, I just want to note that the bill that would apply Israeli sovereignty onto the whole of the West Bank, essentially just annex the entire West Bank, that did pass 25 to 24. Now, the Knesset does have 120 members, but most abstained or did not show up to vote because Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu essentially told the parliament, like, please don't do this while we have Jared Kushner, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Steve Witkoff, Special Envoy to the Middle East, here doing a presser. It is not a good look. It's
yes. Wait, what?
Jared Kushner, Vice President J.D. Please don't do this while we have Jared Kushner, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Steve Witkoff, Special Envoy to the Middle East, here doing a presser. It is not.
Yeah, Netanyahu said, like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not the time. Okay, because the people in the Knesset who did this, this is not for the sake of annexing West Bank. This was an anti-Netanyahu thing that they did. They were poking him. They were trying to embarrass him in front of the Americans. So as much as I want Israel to annex the West Bank, this vote was for a completely different reason. And Netanyahu was like, fuck you, motherfuckers. Like, what are you doing to me? Like, why now? Like, what? Like, seriously? So this is what was happening.
Not a good look. It's going to make the Americans angry. And they did it anyway. So
they did it anyway because it was not about annexing West Bank. It was about, it's an anti-Netanyahu thing. And you guys are selling this as what Israel did. Even though this is not Israel's position, this is internal politics.
Oh, it's not that Netanyahu is against the annexation of the West Bank. He has been overseeing it. He's been directing it for a very long time.
For good reason.
It's that he knows that it's not going to look good for the Americans and could potentially upset the Trump administration against Netanyahu, against the Israeli Knesset, if they move forward with this annexation bill.
Oh, Leslie just became a member. Hey, Leslie. Oh, by the way, also, Leslie just said that she joined our community. Guys, come join our community. Look at this. Leslie just became a member. And this is our member community. Let me put the link again in the chat for you guys to join as well. Because, guys, join soon. It's a free community, by the way, because we have an event coming up on the 27th. And everybody will be able to come and join, and you don't have to open your camera or your mic, but you can if you want to talk. Everybody gets to open their mic and cameras and speak, or you could just come and watch us talk to each other. So it's a free community. Let me see, how many are we now? So we got 37. We're 37 right now. All right, so Leslie just joined as well. Thank you, Leslie, for joining. All right, let's go back.
But they did anyway.
Yeah, because they're unaccountable and they think that what difference does it make? What are they going to do? Cut our funding? No way, right? They're never going to do that. So it doesn't matter.
Because it makes no sense for United States to do that. Yeah, United States should never stop supporting Israel because they get so much more out of it. United States, for every dollar that United States supports Israel, they get 100 times more back. So why would they want to shoot themselves in the foot? Israel has done so much more for United States than United States has done for Israel, especially in the past couple of years. So why would United States stop such a great investment?
If we say we're going to annex West Bank, Gaza Strip, and we didn't even do it for self-defense, we just tell them, yeah, we did it to steal their land. So what? And by the way, we're going to take southern Lebanon and western Syria, and we're going to keep going until you stop us.
No, until they stop attacking us. Yeah, not until you stop us, until they stop attacking our citizens.
And American politicians will go, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. Of course, everyone's an anti-Semite, sir.
Bullshit. American politicians are constantly yelling at Netanyahu. They're mocking him. They are acting like they're babysitting him in Israel. They're trying to control him. They're intimidating him. They're threatening him. You have no fucking clue what's happening in America right now. This is absolute horseshit. American politicians, instead of being grateful to Israel, many of them are constantly threatening Netanyahu, and so I don't know what you're talking about. You're so full of shit.
And Americans, you must hand over your money over to the Israelis. You have to give them another $300 billion. And that's, but like I'm saying it's not hyperbole.
$300 billion. Americans have saved trillions and trillions of dollars because Israel is in the Middle East.
That's what's happened throughout this entire time. I mean, since Israel has started, and they've attacked our ships, they've killed 7 Americans.
And also most of the, almost I think 70% of the money that goes from United States to Israel for military spending makes its way right back to United States and gets spent on American military infrastructure and also weaponry, which creates so much American jobs. So most of that money makes its way back. And also America gets a lot of weapons testing from Israel, which makes a lot of other, guys, for example, if I want to sell my book, right? So I wrote this book, Why There's No God, right? The best way to sell my book is to give it to a couple of people for free and ask them to review it if they like it when nobody has read it, so that they put some reviews on Amazon for my book, right? I did write this book, by the way, Why There's No God, okay? And then that would get the momentum going, right? So Israel is like that for American weapons. So when Israel uses American weaponry in war, the whole world sees how good they are, because you can never, when it comes to weapons and other military equipment, there is no way to actually, there's no testing or any simulation that you could run that could really show how good these equipment and weapons are, other than an actual war, real war scenarios. And every time Israel uses American weapons, the demand for it globally increases significantly. So not only, so imagine this, every dollar you give to Israel, it comes back to United States in the form of investment in American military industry. But not only that, because Israel actually uses them, because it's involved in so many wars, then the demand for anything made by America increases significantly, because people could see how effective they are. And the United States makes so much from that. So remember that next time somebody thinks that you're actually just giving away money to Israel.
time. I mean, since Israel has started, and they've attacked our ships. They've killed 7 Americans in the last 3 years. And
What American ships?
Israel has started. All what's happened throughout this entire time. I mean, since Israel has started, and they've attacked our ships. They've killed 7 Americans in the last 3.
Is he talking about USS Liberty? Is he one of those conspiracy theorists? Oh my God! Is he guys? Is he referring to that? Israel attacked one of our ships. Okay, yes, it's a reference to USS Liberty. Oh my God, this guy is actually retarded. He actually thinks Israel attacked a US ship and on purpose. Fucking hell, these people are is he that retarded? Is he actually that retarded? Oh my God. Hey, Cenk, you might as well say Jews did 9/11 as well. What? Just go all the way then. Just go all the way and say Jews did 9/11 as well. Fucking hell.
I mean, since Israel has started, and they've attacked our ships. They've killed 7 Americans in the last 3 years. All their offenses against America and all their neighbors is plainly evident, and yet all of our politicians bow their heads and send them an infinite amount of our money anyway. So they're right. Their arrogance is justified.
So with that information in mind,
I really want to know these fucking morons who think that Israel attacked the USS Liberty on purpose. Can you also complete your conspiracy theory and tell us why the fuck they would do that? Like, what would the Israelis like? The Israelis like, oh, they are cartoonishly evil. They were like, let's just kill Americans. And then somebody was like, but sir, for what reason? What will we get out of it? And they shot that person right in front of everyone else. Like, because we want to. Because we're Jews, motherfucker. We just kill for the sake of it. That we just like, but they're our allies, sir. Why would we shoot at our ally ship? We're Jews. Do I need to say more? We're just Jews. Fucking hell. we just love to kill. Is that your understanding? What the fuck? Give us a motivation. Give us a motivation for why Israel did that on purpose to make your fucking conspiracy just a little bit more believable.
and I can get even more granular about how the Israeli Knesset works. But the important thing to keep in mind is both these bills did.
Exactly. Nail anything for shits and giggles. Yeah. Just like, hey, guys, you know what would be funny? They would not see it coming. What if we just bombed our allies' ship? Like, oh my God. And then we tell them it was an accident. Oh my God, wouldn't that be funny? Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Oh.
So with that information in mind, and I can get even more granular about how the Israeli Knesset works, but the important thing to keep in mind is both these bills did pass. And at this point, there are 3 more obstacles or 3 more votes for these bills to get through in order for it to become actual law in Israel. So there really is no indication that they're going to stop. They're going to keep pushing for this. And I just want to give you one more piece of evidence, which is, Donald Trump does respond to campaign bribes, and he got one of the biggest campaign bribes from Miriam Adelson, $100 million to allow for.
He got bigger ones from Qatar, you fucking moron. He got so much more from Qatar. He got a plane. He got a fucking plane.
And he got one of the biggest campaign bribes from Miriam Adelson, $100 million to allow for the annexation of the West Bank. So the question is Donald Trump willing to upset one of his top donors? He's done it to Elon Musk before, to be fair. But with that in mind, here's what JD Vance had to say about these bills passing.
Yeah, that was weird. I was sort of confused by that.
It was just weird. It was weird. The Candace Owens reference. It was weird. The Knesset, what they did was weird.
Actually asked That was weird. I was sort of confused by that. Now, I actually asked somebody about it, and they told me that it was a symbolic vote, some symbolic vote to recognize or a symbolic.
It's not symbolic. It's somebody. Do you not have somebody more informed to brief you on these things? This was an internal attack on Bibi. Do you not have like a somebody like oh my god, somebody that actually looks up what's happening and tell you
Me that it was a symbolic vote, some symbolic vote to recognize or a symbolic vote to annex the West Bank. I mean, what I would say to that is when I asked about it, somebody told me that it was a political stunt, that it had no practical significance. It was purely symbolic. I mean, look, if it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it. The West
you should, well, if you say that, you should separate Bibi from all of it. Would you not? Would you, now that you're being insulted? Ooh, boo, were you insulted? Were you insulted? Are you hurt? Show me where they hurt you. Show me they hurt you. Oh, they insulted me. Okay.
it was a very
But if you are acting like Israel has taken a position that is you don't like, then that is not very nuanced. You should look at the internal politics of Israel and separate them from each other. You should separate Bibi from what happened because Bibi was against it. So you should say that, given that Bibi was doing his best to try to make sure that what's happening in Israel is something that pleases you Americans, then you should have acknowledged Bibi's attempts here right now.
significance. It was purely symbolic. I mean, look, if it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it. The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel. That will continue to be our policy. And if people want to take symbolic votes, they can do that. But we certainly weren't happy about it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. It's not up to you. What happens to the West Bank is going to be the decision of Israelis and Israelis alone. Okay? Even if we have a two-state solution one day, which I don't think we should, but even if we do, we should only have a two-state solution because Israelis have decided that that's what the path that they want to go with. But it should be up to Israelis and no one else.
To take symbolic votes, they can do that, but we certainly weren't happy about it.
Yeah, that was weird. Weird.
Oh no, Anna is doing what I did. I feel bad. I feel dirty. Anna, why is Anna making what? I did not know that she's going to make fun of JD Vance in exactly the same way I made fun of him. Fuck. I need a shower, guys.
I totally didn't expect anything like that to happen. Weird. Anyway, Jane.
Oh my God.
Do you think it was weird?
Stop.
So look, I have two conflicting thoughts on that. One is I kind of love that. And so credit where credit is due. That's the first time in a long time that I haven't heard an American politician just flat out groveling.
Yeah, when Cenk is happy with what you did, then you should question yourself. Oh, Delta, thank you so much. Hold on, Delta just gave us a super chat saying Trump admin views Israel as a U.S. vessel state. Yep, exactly. And it's fun. The funny thing is that these fucking morons think it's the other way around. American politicians treat Israel as if it's a U.S. vessel state, and these motherfuckers come and say like, "Oh, American politicians are basically Israeli puppets." So see how fucking clueless they are. It's actually, they're treating Israel the other way around.
So just the mere fact that something critical was said about the Israeli government by a US official is so nearly unprecedented that I'll take it. Even if it's fake, I'll take it.
It's only unprecedented because you're a fucking moron that hasn't been paying attention.
Because at least the world heard one American stand up against Israel for the first time in like 60 years. American stand up. Even if it's fake, I'll take it. Because at least the world heard one American stand up against Israel for the first time in like 60 years.
Guys, wasn't it Trump that right at the beginning of his president, right when he got elected, in the few first weeks or months, I don't remember, he posted a video calling Netanyahu a son of a bitch? Trump on Truth Social posted a video of this fucking guy who I forgot what his name is, who was claiming that Netanyahu just wants to drag America into wars and that he's a son of a bitch. Trump posted that. So how do you not remember that? I mean, Cenk, you are more involved in US politics than I am. I spend most of my time in Iranian politics, and I know this. How come you don't remember this? All you do is American politics. I'm not even American. I'm an Iranian Canadian, and I focus most of my attention on the politics of the Middle East. And I know this. And you are an American who is a political commentator who spends 100% of his time on American politics. And you don't know this? For the first time in the history since the past 60 years? What the fuck you're talking about? Trump says something against Netanyahu once every 2 months.
Even if it's fake, I'll take it, because at least the world heard one American stand up against Israel for the first time in like 60 years. So, okay,
I totally disagree. Hold on. Let me just interject real quick. I won't take long. I think it's actually terrible and is going to lead to even more humiliation for the US because they're already annexing the West Bank, Cenk. Like we're having a fake debate right now. They are already doing it. The Trump administration has done absolutely nothing to stop the Israeli settlers who are doing the land confiscation, who are.
Wait, what do you want America? You guys are saying like, what do you want America to do? You want to send you want America to send troops into this so-called West Bank and fight Israeli soldiers? Like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Like, oh, America hasn't done everything, so America should stay out of everything unless it's the things that you want them to do?
Stealing the homes. In fact, they have lifted sanctions against the worst offenders, including one who, killed, I believe, a US activist. Like, it's just, the whole thing is insane. So like, it's a fake debate. Like what you're watching right now, if you ask me, it's my opinion, but I have reason to believe that it's nothing more than theater. I don't.
It's not theater, because if it was theater, Netanyahu wouldn't be opposing such a vote. He would just let it happen. He must know that this pisses off Americans, or else he wouldn't be opposing.
It's my opinion, but I have reason to believe that it's nothing more than theater. I don't believe for a second that the Israelis are like, well, whoa, the Trump administration is telling us we're being very bad boys and girls. We're being very naughty and we must stop.
Yeah, they actually do think that Americans support the level of support that America is going to give them. Depends upon how much they follow Trump's plan. They do actually think that. If they didn't think that, they would be in Gaza right now. This is how I know you're so full of shit, Anna. If Israelis didn't care about America's reaction, right now the IDF would be in everywhere. And now that there are no hostages for Hamas to use as a leverage, the IDF would be all over Gaza right now, eliminating the last remaining Hamas fighters wherever they could find them. Why are they not there? Why is the IDF not there? Because they don't want to piss off America. Because they believe that the level of support for America depends on how much they follow America's plan. So this is evidence that you're so full of shit.
The Trump administration is telling us we're being very bad boys and girls. We're being very naughty and we must stop right away. Come on.
No. Look, Israel will never listen to America. Israel is the boss of us. We're not.
Israel is listening to America right now. Israel is listening to America right now because they are not passing the yellow line. They're not passing the yellow line, even though Hamas has violated the terms of their agreement multiple times, and they're still the IDF is still holding back again behind the yellow line just to make sure they don't piss off the Americans. So you're so full of shit.
We're being very bad boys and girls. We're being very naughty, and we must stop right away. Come on.
No. Look, Israel will never listen to America. Israel is the boss of us. We're not the boss of them. So
as they continue with the West Bank.
You're so full of shit. You guys are so full of shit. You have no idea. You have zero understanding of geopolitics in the Middle East, and you have like some of the most views on the internet.
Israel is the boss of us. We're not the boss of them. So
as they continue with the West Bank land confiscation, the annexation, how embarrassing is it going to be for the United States when they do it anyway? We can all see they're doing it anyway, despite the fact that the Trump administration said, no, you may not.
No, okay. So first of all, as you remember,
because America doesn't have even though America has more power than any other country, they're not God. They can. The expectation is that America has some influence over Israeli politics. It's not like the 10 Commandments, like America says, like, you shall not pass. And Israel, like, there's a wall of fire that just stops the Israelis from entering into West Bank. So just because we say United States has a lot of influence, it doesn't mean that their word is final and nothing will ever change it again. We didn't say they're God.
That, the Trump administration.
Leslie is saying, yes, we are. Okay.
Said, no, you may not.
No, okay. So first of all.
So Chuck is saying, why are we watching this trash? To learn how to respond to bullshit. This is class in session. This is the bullshit that people are spreading. And I'm teaching you how to respond to it. That's why we're watching this.
Despite the fact that the Trump administration said no,
I'm gonna debunk the chunk. Okay,
you may not.
No, okay. So first of all, as you remember, I started by saying I'm very conflicted about what JD Vance said. So the first part is what I explained, which is, hey, it's on tape. An American actually standing up to Israel never happened before. I don't know about never, but close to never. And
happens all the time. Happens so many times by so many U.S. presidents. I mean, aren't you the same? Wait a minute. Aren't these the same people who say John F. Kennedy was killed by Israel because he was standing up to Israel? I mean, it's true that he had so many positions against Israel, but then you guys added the conspiracy theory that he was killed by Israel because he was standing up to Israel. So isn't that part of your history? Like, I don't understand how you're eliminating that.
But an American actually standing.
Yeah, by the way, thank you guys. Don't forget to like the stream. Like the stream so that more people see
up to Israel never happened before. I don't know about never, but close to never. And but the conflicted part is what I was going to get to, Anna, is of course I agree with you that it's I don't know if that's JD Vance's statement is BS, but are we going to stop them from splitting the West Bank and de facto taking it? No, of course we're not going to do that. In fact, they already did it. So they first of all, they just voted to annex it. And they didn't take the vote back. So that's official Israeli position. We're going to steal the West Bank.
It's not the official. Okay, so that vote is not officially Israeli position. In fact, in Israel, people are pushing back against it because even though it's correct that we should be annexing the West Bank and making it part of Israel, that's true. We should be doing that. Now is not the time because we don't want to piss off Trump so much right now. It's not the time.
We're going to steal Gaza.
Guys, when it's the time? Here's what you should do. This one. Okay. You kill Khamenei. You support Prince Reza Pahlavi. You help the Iranian people take back their country. And then if the Americans get pissed, it's going to matter. It's still going to matter, but it's going to matter less because most of your enemies are gone. So you're not dealing with an existential crisis anymore. So that's when you get rid of the Islamic Republic, then you annex the West Bank, because even if America gets really pissed at that time, it doesn't matter as much anymore. That's the order of things, okay?
Nothing about self-defense. They're on a giant land conquest. So that's clear. And us not doing anything about it is also clear. They took a section of the West Bank recently that splits it in two and makes a continuous Palestinian state nearly impossible. And we did nothing to stop them. So their avarice knows no bounds. They're going to keep on stealing as we go along. And the other day we showed you, just a couple of days ago, a wonderful Jewish American reporter went to the West Bank to see what the Palestinians were up to. He got assaulted along with the Palestinians by these terrorist Israeli settlers. And on tape, they have one of the settlers beating a woman in her early 70s with a club repeatedly as she's on the ground. These are sick terrorists, and our government has been supporting them the whole time. So
your government has been sanctioning them.
I think the only question, Anna, is Trump ever going to draw any realistic line with Israel?
By the way, I don't deny that there are a whole bunch of cuckoos, like really fucking crazy religious nut jobs. Some of most of them not. Most of the people, most of the Jews in the West Bank are good people, okay? But obviously there's some cuckoos there who need to be arrested for the stuff that they're doing, obviously. But the solution to that is to just get the settlements and the construction to be done by more sane people. Not the solution is not to stop the settlement. The solution is not to stop the construction. The solution is to just make it more orderly and faster.
In terms of threatening their financing to make sure that they don't do something even more egregious in the West Bank or Gaza Strip. And so far, that side you're totally right about. No, he is. No, he drew a line when he told the Israelis to bring their ships, their jets back when they were going to do another bombing run in Iran, right?
When they were almost gonna, yeah, that's exactly when Israel was this close to finishing the job. Trump came out and said that I saved Khamenei's life. I still can't believe it to this day. I mean, I can actually because I predicted it. But he said Trump came out, took credit for the fact that Khamenei is alive today. So all of this would have been over if Trump didn't get in the way.
Their jets back when they were going to do another bombing run in Iran, right? So again, just a smidge more than what a normal American president does. On the other hand, though, he keeps encouraging them to be worse. Gaza Riviera and ethnically cleanse the.
How's Gaza Riviera worse? I'm sure it would be great for the people in Gaza.
Worse. Gaza Riviera and ethnically cleanse the Palestinians. So it's
ethnically cleanse the Palestinians. How? Ethnically cleanse the Palestinians. The only thing regarding the movement of people from people in Gaza that has been proposed is voluntarily. People who want to leave to be able to leave. I mean, you cannot say it's an open air prison, and then when you want to give the people a chance to leave if they want to, then call it ethnic cleansing. It's basically damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you don't let them go, it's an open air prison. If you're like, okay, do you want to go? Or like, oh, you're ethnically cleansing people. Okay, fine.
Gaza Riviera and ethnically cleanse the Palestinians. So it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But lastly, though, what you said, we all see it. And of course, I know you didn't mean that. We all see it here online.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If people want to leave a war zone, then let them. Exactly.
We all see it. And of course, I know you didn't mean that. We all see it here online. But on television and in the newspapers, no, they never.
Deborah's saying, sorry, I mean, I can't take any more of these morons' lies. Well, you have my response next to them. Guys, the fact that I'm responding to them, doesn't it make it more tolerable? Like the fact that I'm actually responding to them, I think it makes it easier to consume, no?
But on television and in the newspapers, no, they never ever talk about how Israel is going to take the West Bank and Gaza Strip. They all continue to write Hasbara about how, oh, poor Israel is the victim and they're doing self-defense. So the great majority of Americans who get their news from mainstream media have no idea all the war crimes and all the land theft that Israel is doing.
Okay. All right, guys, that was it. However, Don't forget to join our community. Again, link. I will put the link is in the description. I will put the link one more. Let me actually put a different, the about page. So when you go there, no, let me click on settings. Let me put the invite link to give you the invite link. Okay, here, this is the link to our community. Go join there. We have an event coming up in 4 days. Look at this. 4 days from now, we have an event. It's our first live group meeting. So if once you join our group, you could participate in the conversations below. You could check the calendar and see when our next event is coming. I'm going to make it so that we have so many events here at some point. But basically, the events are it's like a Zoom call. Okay, our events are basically like Zoom calls. We just get together and we just talk. And we're not going to force you to talk. We're not going to force you to talk. You can talk. You don't have to talk. You can listen. You can listen until you are comfortable to talk, right? But join the community and just participate in the conversations in the main chat at the homepage, and then look into the calendar for where we're going to have our calls, right? The next one is coming in 4 days, and yeah. And look, the community is growing, and you can see 3 more people requested. So I think we have a 40 now. Once I accept these 3 new requests to join, and this is great. And guys, I just started this community, and I was hoping that at some point we're gonna get to 100 people. And given that we already are at 40, I think we're gonna easily make it to 100 people in the community. So, and then our first meeting is going to be about what we want to do with this community, so actually, let me actually look at the description. This will be our first live group call for the World Liberty Battle Camp. Okay, so the group name, the community's name is World Liberty Battle Camp, right? So we want to fight for liberty against our enemies, which is Islamic tyranny, woke right, woke left, and communism, right? So this event, the first event, is going to be, this will be our first live group call for the World Liberty Battle Camp. Everyone's invited to join, talk, and share ideas. We'll discuss what kind of events, discussions, and projects we want to create next. This is your chance to help shape the direction of the battle camp from the ground up. Yeah, so we guys going to decide what we want to do with this community together. So everybody will add their inputs, and we will basically we use the wisdom of the crowd to how to build this community from ground up together. Okay, so the goal is to learn how to fight for liberty against anything that threatens it. So yeah, join the community. Okay, all right, guys. I'm pending to. Okay, I'm pending. Okay, I'm gonna go accept you right now. Okay, I'm gonna go accept you right after the show. All right, guys, thank you for being here. This was fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. This is why I built the community, because I hang out with you guys in the chat, but I don't see you. I don't hear you. I want to see you guys. I want to hear you. I want to talk to you directly. So on YouTube, it's just me talking and you're listening. In the community, you get to talk back, right? So that's what makes it fun. It's two-way communication. It's not just me looking at the chat. You guys talk to me, and we will talk to each other. You guys talk to each other, and yeah. So like the stream, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment after the show is over, and yeah, that's it. I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. Thank you for your support. See you on the next stream. Bye.